Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Vader, aka Pro Benchwarmer, and welcome back to the next episode of Box Benchwarmers, this series where we discuss every incomplete archetype within Duel Links, their relative history within our meta, and what cards do they need to actually become competitive. Now, if you're enjoying this series, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more weekly content. Now, this episode is going to be on Six Samurai, a fan-beloved archetype in the TCG that has been known to have some degenerate loops and crazy plays in the TCG, but thanks to Master Rule 4 and actually them limiting a card that we will discuss soon, the deck has been kind of like sheltered in the TCG. It's not really that good to actually play. It's more of a fun deck than an actual competitive deck, though people have been playing it in regionals and so on and so forth, but not that many. In Duel Links, however, it has this weird history that has been like the slowest deck to play in Duel Links. Albeit looking so fun to play, it is just so boring. So let's discuss that. Sorry for me being so enthusiastic on the word boring, but it is. It started out in Blades of Spirit, a mini box that was completely comprised of 6 samurai monsters as well as spell and trap support. However, the spell and trap support were really bad out of this mini box, but it did give us the first wave of 6 samurai monsters. Now, this first wave of 6 samurai monsters had effects that only activated when you had another 6 samurai monster of a different name on the field, but they didn't have ways of special summoning these monsters onto the field. So while these effects were really great, like popping your opponent's back row or destroying your opponent's monster, it came at the cost of not attacking that turn, and it took too long for it to set up. So as quickly as the archetype came in our meta, it quickly left from our meta because our meta was starting to shift into this special summoning engine. That box also gave us Hazy Flame support, so Hazy Flame is starting to blow up, and then we had other things in the meta that was like on special summoning that we didn't really focus on this slow 6 samurai archetype. Now, with the most recent box, Crusaders Battleground, it gave us the secret 6 samurai, which actually focused on resource management through searching, thinning, and reviving through Kizaru, Doji, and Hatsume, respectively. It also gave us some special summons in Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai and Secret 6 Samurai Rihan, which is a contact fusion monster, which in my opinion, if you have to go into it, you are already winning because it takes 3 6 Samurai monsters from the field. Like you go -3. Technically, no, you go -3, I believe, to get this monster on the field. So then if you have resources in hand to banish an opponent's monster, like, glory be to you, but now you only have 1 monster on your field, and that kind of sucks, you feel me? Like, that, I don't really think Rihan is actually that good. However, Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai is amazing because it's a free special summon of a 2100 beater who has graveyard recursion when he gets sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect. I think that that's really good. This box gave us some pretty phenomenal spell and trap cards with secret skill of the 6 samurai, cunning of the 6 samurai, and also return of the 6 samurai, which actually allows us to use the cards that have been sent to our graveyard and also banished to get them onto the field and attack more in the battle step. But the cards that we got are still pretty slow because there's still no inherent way to special summon in our meta that has been heavily focused on special summoning. So what I think the archetype needs is actually special summonable monsters, and I think the perfect cards to put in this, we have the original wave, we have the secret 6 samurai, we need the legendary 6 samurai. Legendary 6 Samurai Kazan has an inherent special summoning. It's literally just Grandmaster, except you really can't brick with them. You can normal summon 6 Samurai Kazan, and then if you have another 6 Samurai monster on the field other than Kazan, you can special summon Kazan. Kazan also has an effect that if there's 2 other 6 Samurais on the field, he gains 300 attack and defense. So if you can actually swarm with this deck, you can actually have a free special summonable 2100 body from your hand. I think that that's really important because now you can actually make plays by easily special summoning 2 monsters, especially if you have this on the field and if you put Doji on the field and special summon Kazan, you automatically thin your deck of 1 monster to put in the graveyard that automatically makes Cunning live. And I think that that's important that you want to speed this deck along rather than hinder it by having it rely on a bunch of normal summons. The next card also focuses on special summoning, which is Kageki. Kageki and Kazan are two cards that are in the TCG, are known in the Six Samurai archetype as the best cards to have because they extend your plays. Kageki states that when it's normal summon, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Six Samurai monster from your hand, and when you do that, this card gains 1500 attack, making it a 1700 beater. That's pretty good. I mean, it has 2000 defense, so you can put it in defense position. You don't get its effect after that because it's not normal summon, it's flip summon, but now you get to swarm the board, and that's entirely the point of this archetype. The next card I think that this archetype really needs is actually a threat within monster lineup, rather than having it in the extra deck, or rather than having some weak, I mean, Grandmaster, don't get me wrong, Grandmaster is great, but 2100 attack body and only being in 2100 attack body while on the field is pretty weak in my opinion. I think we need Legendary Six Samurai and Nishi because its effect is phenomenal for what our meta is right now. It states once per turn during either player's turn, you can banish 2 Six Samurai monsters from your graveyard to target one face-up monster in the field, return that target to the hand. That is such a beautiful disruption effect. Oh my god, you don't understand how important that effect is. It's during either player's turn. You literally open up Doji and then special summon Kazan, sending Inishi to the graveyard. You can attack with Doji, attack with Kazan, and then use Cunning, send Kazan to the graveyard, special summon Inishi from the graveyard, sending another monster from the deck straight to the graveyard, instantly having that bounce effect active to you. So when your opponent normal summons next turn, you can just send that card back to the hand and stop their plays, and now you have 2 1700 attack monsters on the field. Your opponent has no monsters on the field, and then in your next turn you can just normal summon another Six Samurai monster. And this card states when you have 2 or more face-up Six Samurai monsters on the field, except for Legendary Six Samurai and Nishi, this card gains 500 attack and defense. So this becomes a 2200 attack body alongside a 1700 attack body alongside any other Six Samurai you put on the field. That is actually formidable. That is a good card. This is a card that we need, and I believe that if we get it in our game, it's probably going to be hidden behind that pay barrier, it being a super rare. But even if it is a super rare or an ultra rare, I think it definitely warrants running 3 of this card in the deck because of that instant effect of just banishing 2 monsters. In fact, banishing 2 monsters from the graveyard instantly makes Secret Skill of the Six Samurai live, which actually warrants running it rather than the slow effect of having your monsters get banished from the Secret Six Samurai banishing themselves to protect your monsters from card effects. You banish them with Inishi, and I think that that's great. It actually gives you another target to search with Kizaru, because Kizaru can only search Six Samurai monsters that have a different attribute than the monsters on the field, so it can't search Kazan, but it can search Inishi. And if it gets sent to the graveyard, bang, you have a technically in-deck boss monster in Inishi that can just bounce your opponent's monsters. Think about it in the sense of how we had to deal with Black Dragon Ninja. Welcome back Black Dragon Ninja, just sending cards back to the hand rather than it being banished. Now the next card I want to talk about, I have so much enthusiasm for, just like Inishi, and it's actually Gateway to the Six. Now I know that this card is responsible for degenerate loops and FTKs and all that other stuff in the TCG. However, in Duel Links we don't have access to XD summoning like the TCG, so I don't believe that we'll be able to loop this card around or loop cards around like this card was able to do in the TCG. Also, because Duel Links is so focused on like battle traps and spells that protect during the battle phase, I don't think Gateway of the Six is too broken because it doesn't really help in that regard. It really helps in the main phase, except for the two counter effect to gain 500 extra attack into the end phase. Now I'm gonna read the effects so you guys understand how busted this thing was. Each time a Six Samurai monster is normal or special summon, place 2 Bushido counters on this card. you can remove Bushido counters from your side of the field to activate these effects. Now this is not once per turn, and with the new wave of legendary 6 samurai that I'm promoting, you can see where you can start racking up these Bushido counters. 2 counters, you target 1 6 samurai monster, a Shein effect monster, that target gains 500 attack until the end phase. Great. 4 counters, add 1 6 samurai monster from your deck or your graveyard to your hand. Now you can recycle these 6 samurai monsters from the graveyard and also draw them from the deck. I think that's very important. And then lastly, 6 counters, target 1 Shein effect monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. You're probably never going to use this. Now the 4 counters one is important because you can actually go Doji into Kazan. That's 4 counters. Use those 4 counters to search for Grandmaster, put Grandmaster on the field. Like, that's what I mean, that this recurrence is so crucial. However, if you get 2 gateways of the 6, you can get a lot of counters and continue to loop. However, we can't go into the extra deck like the TCG can, so I don't think we can abuse it that way. The main thing that we're going to be using is gaining 500 extra attack or just recycling monsters from the graveyard. And I think that this can go in combination with the trap that we have that removes a Bushido counter to destroy a monster on the field. Oh no, send the monster on the field back to the hand or destroy a spell or trap. I think that would be the best way of using Gateway of the 6 in dueling, because now it becomes a offensive control deck rather than anything else. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. That's the end of this video, and that's a wrap.